Welcome to LFC Transfer HQ, your ultimate source for all things Liverpool FC transfers. Like and subscribe for more football updates. Our first news is Liverpool transfer business to continue with finishing touches put to £35 million deal. Jarell Quansah is expected to complete his £35 million move to Bayer Leverkusen next week. Now his England under-21 commitments are over with. Liverpool defender Jarell Quansah is expected to complete his transfer to Bayer Leverkusen next week following the conclusion of England under-21's European Championship on Saturday night. The Young Lions met Germany in Bratislava as Lee Carsley's side took part in their second Euros final, having won the competition in 2023. With the Slovakia tournament now over, Quansah is free to complete his £35 million move to Leverkusen, who will make the red centre-back their most expensive purchase of all time. Quansah emerged as a target for Die Werkself during negotiations for Florian Wirtz, who Liverpool made a club record signing earlier this month after a £116 million agreement was struck following around 3 weeks of advanced talks between the clubs. Having lost Jonathan Tah to Bayern Munich on a free transfer, Leverkusen, who are now coached by former Manchester United boss Erik ten Hag, identified Quansah as the ideal replacement. And having seen a windfall of £145 million arrive from the Reds' deals for £29 million Jeremy Frimpong and Wirtz, Leverkusen are prepared to now break their own record to land Warrington-born Quansah. The 22-year-old enjoyed a breakout campaign in the 23-24 term under Jurgen Klopp and finished the term as first choice alongside Virgil van Dijk. However, it was a step backwards for the young centre-half as he started just one game in his preferred position under Arne Slot before the Premier League title was wrapped up in late April. That came when he lasted 45 minutes on the opening day away at Ipswich Town before Slot substituted him for Ibrahima Konate. The deal reportedly contains a buyback clause at around the £50 million mark for Liverpool, and a medical will be slated for sometime next week. The deal will take the Reds' incomings to close to £65 million following the exits of Caoimhin Kelleher, who joined Brentford in a deal worth up to £18 million after Trent Alexander-Arnold moved to Real Madrid for £10 million at the beginning of June. Liverpool retain an interest in Mark Gahey of Crystal Palace but would need the Londoners to lower their asking for their captain, with the England international inside the final 12 months of his deal at Selhurst Park. The Reds are continuing to assess the merits of the younger centre-back market as they search for a Quansah replacement. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our second news is £68 million Liverpool deal for 25g per AAC makes perfect sense, on one condition. Luis Diaz has been linked with a move to Barcelona, and if Liverpool sell there is a solution on their doorstep. Liverpool have all but completed their summer transfer business looking from the outside in with a striker and centre-half the two remaining targets that are needed. There is plenty of time left to find them, but the rest of the work will be on replacing any regular senior players who are sold in the coming weeks. Jarell Quansah's departure to Bayer Leverkusen leaves a space that needs to be filled with Darwin Núñez tipped to join Napoli. One player who looks increasingly likely to stay though is Luis Diaz. There is a caveat to this in that it depends on a chain of events involving Barcelona and their attempts to sign Nico Williams from Athletic Club. As with the several strikers who are linked with moves this summer, it feels like one move will kick-start the rest. Speaking about his team's need for more width, Barcelona technical director Deco said, "As wingers, we only have Lamine and Rafinha," he told La Vanguardia. Ferran Torres is now more of a striker. When we're missing Lamine or Rafinha, the team's level drops. So, we're looking at options based on quality and cost. There's a clear criterion that any player coming to Barca must believe in the project. Nico didn't come last season, as Dani Olmo was a bigger priority. But now, Nico and others are showing more desire to join. In the end, you follow a process, Deco said. Speak to the agent, look at the contract, and then see if the club wants the release clause paid or is open to talks. In Nico's case, the clause is clear. We have a good group, and we want to keep it that way. Players like Nico or Luis Diaz have the right mindset. They're hungry to succeed, and that matters. If we close a winger, no more high-level players will arrive, Deco said. Barca seems certain to close the deal for Williams with every party looking to make it happen, but there has been other interest in Diaz, most noticeably from Bayern Munich, with a ready-made replacement on Liverpool's Premier League doorstep. According to transfer journalist Graham Bailey, Crystal Palace are flexible on the release clause for Eberechi in that they are happy to receive it in installments rather than one lump sum payment. His release clause stands at £68 million. With 14 goals and 11 assists, can get the sort of numbers that Liverpool need as well as having the sort of attitude and mentality needed to buy into Slot's system and team-first ethos. As a possible replacement for Diaz, he would tick a lot of boxes and should be considered before the likes of João Pedro and Antoine Semenyo, who are valued at a similar £60 million price tag. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our last news is Harvey Elliott transfer truth clear after Liverpool midfielder stars for England U21s. The Liverpool star scored in all 3 knockout games and his time as a Premier League backup is now over. Wherever he plays next season, Elliott must be a first-team regular. In years to come, Harvey Elliott may look back on the summer of 2025 as a pivotal moment in his career. The Liverpool star approached the under-21 European champions in Slovakia with a simmering sense of frustration. Elliott admitted just days before the tournament that he might have no other option but to leave his boyhood club this summer, following the first significant backward steps of his fledgling career. Only Darwin Núñez played more games in Jurgen Klopp's final season at Anfield, but under Arne Slot, Elliott started just 2 league matches this season, and none before the title was secured. Hence, his comments about the need to consider a move elsewhere for the sake of his development weren't a surprise. "I don't really want to be wasting years of my career because it's a short career," he bluntly explained. How the mood has changed now after a stellar summer in which the 22-year-old has won a second piece of silverware at international level. How many England players can say that? Elliott shone for Lee Carsley's youngsters, netting 5 goals in 6 games and guiding the 3 Lions to success. He was voted player of the tournament, and really came to the fore in the latter stages. Elliott scored in the quarter-final win over Spain, netted a game-winning brace against the Netherlands in the semi-finals, and then got the ball rolling in the final with the opening goal. That he was so clearly the best player throughout the 3 weeks in Slovakia is a reminder of his immense talent and indicates the direction his career is heading. Having impressed in the decisive games and led his side to glory, there's no doubt Elliott is ready to play a starring role on a weekly basis at club level, yet the fact he was available for the under-21 tournament highlights that things haven't quite gone to plan. For instance, Elliott's new Liverpool teammate Florian Wirtz is a month younger than the former Fulham man, but his services weren't required at the Euros. Instead, he played every minute for Germany's senior side at the Nations League finals earlier this month. Morgan Rogers was in a similar position for England, while there was no Lamine Yamal for Spain, but a role on the periphery will no longer do for Elliott, who has shown his capabilities on such a high-profile stage. With Wirtz, Dominic Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones at Liverpool, it feels like a move away from Merseyside is in everyone's best interest. Richard Hughes will no doubt have taken note on his performances this summer, with Elliott's value rising after each game. The Reds will undoubtedly profit greatly from the £4 million the club paid to secure his services in 2019. Thanks for watching. That's all for today's transfer update. But the transfer window never sleeps, and neither do we. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the latest Liverpool FC transfer news, rumors, and confirmed deals. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update, because at LFC Transfer HQ, you'll never walk alone.